In 1990, Hugo-nominated concept artist Wayne Barlow published Expedition, being an account in words and artwork of the 2358 AD voyage to Darwin IV. The book was a world-building exercise detailing an alien ecosystem divorced from our own Earth and unlike any other science fiction planet ever described. The creature served as a Dali-esque voyage into Barlow's nightmares and caught on well within the community. The world of Darwin was hailed as a triumph in world building and imagination. 15 years later, Discovery Channel transformed Expedition into the made-for-TV special Alien Planet, banking out the speculative documentary fad of the mid-2000s, perhaps sparked by Walking with Dinosaurs. This brought Darwin IV to life with CGI while also adhering to Barlow's vision and implementing real-world scientists to discuss the theories behind the alien planet. It served to add science to Barlow's fantasy. The special also received good reviews and has had a decent shelf life in the legacy of the speculative documentary trend. Be it through book or special, this was many people's introduction to speculative biology. The world of Darwin IV seemed inviting and unique, and the novelty of Barlow's world sent many adventurers to explore further ventures. Though I've seen many reviews of both book and movie, few cover Alien Planet as an adaptation of the book. How did the filmmakers pull it off? What parts of Barlow's story remain? This is what the video seeks to investigate. Expedition is, as the subtitle implies, an adventure to another planet in the 24th century. Barlow narrates the story as himself in a post-apocalyptic future, where most large fauna are either dead or mutated. Through the help of benevolent aliens known as the Ima, Barlow follows an expedition to strange new worlds as they are discovered. While on Darwin IV, Barlow records many of his findings while ensuring it is a leave-no-trace affair. When two Ima are killed in a snowstorm, their remains are obliterated, leaving nothing behind. The bizarre ecosystems resemble discount dinosaurs with some other inspirations like jet aircraft and sunken ships, but otherwise follow a more primitive path than Earth. Though the idea of preservation and being kind to whatever planet you are on is a pervasive theme. Alien Planet is about the discovery of Darwin IV, but without turmoil here on Earth. Scientists send a spaceship named Von Braun and its probes Leo da Vinci and Ike Newton to explore the planet. As Darwin IV is 6.5 light years away, it takes 42 years to arrive and 6 years to hear everything back. This is a reasonable accommodation for human contact. Probes follow the same story beats, and the creatures mostly appear in the order presented in the book, though many are just brief encounters with only the bare bones of their abilities discussed. In the end, the probes fall victim to circumstance on the planet, and the mission wraps 160 days in, chronicling all their strange findings. Given how there was a 90-minute time limit, of the 50-some creatures mentioned in Expedition, only about 24 make the cut for Alien Planet, though highlights such as the Arrowtongue, Groveback, and Daggerus do appear. One scene is devoted most times for each creature, but quite a bit more destruction and mayhem is shown. The skewer are bodied by plants, and the lowly Literalope gets tossed around in graphic detail. In both versions, a Groveback dies, when the book is simply old age, while the special has an agonizing, drawn-out death at the hands of beach quills. This violent nature may have been put in for excitement in the special. The main twist of the story is the same, but told differently in both versions. The last creature to be encountered on Darwin IV is the Eosapien, dawn of sapience. As they are shown to be masters of tools and inherit a level of cognition on par with early hominids. They can count, master weapons, clubs in the book, spears in the film, hunt major predators like the skewer and arrowtongue seemingly for sport, and their initial encounter sparks the group to leave. The special makes them more antagonistic, with tendrils for hands and outright destructiveness toward the probes. The Eosapien are designed to be as inhuman as possible, as Barlow despised the cliche of having intelligent life be human-shaped. But as this planet's cavemen, these creatures scare the daylight out of us and give us a bit of existential dread knowing what we share a universe with. Biology-wise, Alien Planet skirts over the broader details of the aliens of Darwin IV. They keep in the parts about tracking through sonar and many of the bizarre food chains, but do not mention how most creatures on the planet are hermaphroditic and reproduction involves both parties getting pregnant, similar to our world's slugs. Though since intercourse rarely happens in the book and never in the special, it may have been for the best this was left out. In spite of the cuts, two creatures get expanded on in Alien Planet vis-a-vis exposition. The pronghead, represented only by a painting in the book, is the Darwin 4 equivalent of the wolf in Alien Planet. Their communal behavior is a sign of intelligence and signifies that there is more to the planet than meets the eye. Also, the electrophytes live up to their name. Mentioned as mere set decoration in Expedition, in the special they are revealed to be creating a circuit, some sort of electric pulse to trap small creatures like jet darters. These clever nods are on brand for works like this and help to build the world in unique, subtle ways. Though again, they did not have time to explain every creature's quirk. One aspect of Expedition I wish made it into Alien Planet was the social behavior of daggerists. There were 8 of them in a group and they seemed to be ganging up on each other, but in reality, one of them was pregnant and they were helping to deliver a baby. This is a unique, specific concept which would have expanded Darwin 4's ecology. Despite the creativity involved, Barlow's world building has its share of detractors. Many believe the presence of eyes would prove inevitable in a world with light, and certain specimens perhaps could not function on 3 legs. A food chain involving skewers eating all land creatures but themselves being vulnerable to a butcher tree seems laughable to an ecologist. There is also the matter of the water being compacted within the amoebic sea. Perhaps even a sea that large could not supply enough water for complex organisms. While Expedition kinda falls apart with this, Alien Planet adds little inlets and streams to suggest more water, and expands on the details a small bit for the different biomes. It focuses mostly on the ecosystems and does not stray too far into plot holes regarding animals themselves, though most of the plot holes do not detract from the story. The theme of being precious with the environment and valuing our life only comes up with Michio Kaku in the Talking Heads segment of Alien Planet, though both these works have a common central theme running through them. How would we react knowing there was another creature like us in our universe? While the message may not hit as hard with the Ima present, it still does enrapture us when we see the dawn of intelligence on Darwin 4 in the book. The theme is the final talking point for the panelists at the end of the special. His final question is how we psychologically prepare for alien contact. It would certainly unravel the human race and change everything we know about our biology, and perhaps our origins. But the Eo sapiens may just be the tip of the interstellar iceberg. And think of how many Darwin 4s there are, and what could be on them. Alien Planet is a strange middle ground in terms of adaptation loyalty. It sticks true to the core of the tale and follows the same path, but changes much of the background and narrative to make something new. Expedition is sci-fi exploration and narrative of an imagined world. Alien Planet is more of an educational piece, using the setting and characters of Barlow to teach about hypothetical alien life. The limits of the documentary medium and television standards meant liberties had to be taken in translating Barlow's weird and wonderful book to the screen. Given that Barlow himself was an executive producer on the special, most of the tweaks were likely done by him, or at least with his approval, so he can sleep easy with this one. Both book and special are good in their own right, but for different reasons. I recommend both, but try to distance yourself one way or another to get full enjoyment. Darwin 4 is quite the trip, and you should still take it though, be it in print or on film.